Hello, Fabulous Leo. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of February 2013. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. You know, I'm really of the belief that all of us is here for a reason, and all of us is here to do something that only you can do as an individual. And that's true for all of us. Having said that, I had this understanding recently about, the universe. If you just think about it for a second, it's so expansive, right? It's so big. And a lot of times we cause ourselves so much pressure, so much stress, because we forget that actually the universe is massive, is so huge, and we are just a very, very small part of it. So yes, what you feel, what you think, what you want, it matters. Because it matters to you, it matters, and that's awesome. And it matters to you, so chances are it's going to contribute to the collective in a positive way if you feel called to do it, and that's awesome. But having said that, ultimately, all of us matter in our own way, and ultimately with the hugeness of the universe that can never truly be measured, really our lives are very small. This is important for you to remember this month, and I know that's hard to listen to because as a Leo, Leo is king. Leo likes to feel important, and you certainly are, right? I keep emphasizing that you are. However, you need to have a certain amount of humility in order to give yourself the space so that you can make mistakes, because success doesn't happen in any area of life unless you are not only willing to make mistakes, but you do actually make some mistakes. It's only by actually trying something that you're able to figure out what's going to work and what isn't. And it seems like you've been putting a lot of pressure on yourself to try and make something work, so much so that in some cases you haven't even been trying or making an effort. And so the first thing you're going to need this month is humility and perspective, the right perspective. And this whole notion, this whole philosophy, this orientation that I talk about is going to play out in two very important and major areas of your life. One is relationships, which is the beginning of the month, and then towards the end of the month, once you start thinking more about finances, you're also going to want to remember this. So in the beginning of the month, yes, love is a glorious thing, is it not? Love is one of those things that can make us aware of just what's in us and can make us vulnerable. But for all that, in order to really find love for most of us out there, most of us need to be willing to meet people, talk to people, figure out what it is that we really want in relationships. And whether you are in an established bond or whether you are already connected to somebody or whether you are really just out there, out and about, these lessons are going to be coming up for you. And what is ultimately going to be coming up is this idea of bringing lightness back into a bond. Because it seems like in some way you've been approaching relationships with a certain seriousness that isn't really working. It isn't working for you now. It hasn't been working for you for a while. So if you can restore that lightness, then it allows a measure of fun and joy to enter the picture instead of keeping it so serious. And so that's going to be an important characteristic of the first half of the month. So you want to be open to that and see what lessons in love the universe has to offer you, and be willing to make mistakes. And whether that means, doing something very silly for someone you care very deeply about, or whether that means putting yourself in a new environment that feels silly to you, if you're willing to try these different things, you'll find that there's more love and more companionship available to you than you realized. Of course, towards the end of the month, the focus shifts towards finances. There is going to be at least one chance that you are offered, one opportunity that you are offered to bring more money into your life. The other thing that you are going to want to watch is, how is this financial opportunity speaking to your friendships? If your finances are in any way dependent on another, dependent on your friendship with another, or involve you creating an alliance with a friend, you just want to take a little bit of a step back, right? Of course, approach it with an openness and a humility, because at the end of the day, this is life, and that's awesome, and don't bet the farm, as I say. But at the same time, you have to keep a certain measure of what matters to you most. Does a friendship matter most? does the financial opportunity matter most? In some way, there is going to be a need to really figure out this question. And in some way, the two are going to merge, friendships and finances, in a way that might not necessarily feel so comfortable. Approach it with humility, yes, but also, like I said, you can have that humility that says, really, you don't have to take everything so seriously. But at the same time, if it matters to you, it matters. And your life, when that moment comes when you have to look at a friendship as it relates to your finances, you will handle it with tremendous grace. Go into it with humility, but also with a measure of self-value. You find that balance, and you will make this month a success. Thank you for watching. It'll be a great month. Be fabulous and enjoy.